Started.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not started. It's not.
Yeah, sorry.
Hi everyone. I don't know. I'm a bit excited today. I feel like the topics we're going to talk about are very interesting. So I am like already all set, and yeah. Well, if you've seen my other episodes, then you know who I am. But if you haven't, and it's your first time, welcome. Welcome to the sex family. This is so weird. I don't want to ever say welcome to the sex family. What's that supposed to be, like an orgy or something?
No, it's real, like, even when he says like, "Oh, meet the sexy ladies," it's like, okay, like,
Yeah, man. Welcome to the sex family, man. We have orgies every Sunday.
mommy, it's not true. It's a lie.
Please don't listen to anything this guy said.
We have crossings on Thursdays at 4:30.
I don't know. I don't even know what that means,
Yeah,
and I don't want to know what it means. So, yeah.
As I was saying, sorry, introduce myself. So my name is Dumebi. My name is also Dumebs. Well, nickname. You can call me that. That's my Instagram handle, my TikTok as well. So
Dumebs with 2 Z's.
yes.
And I'm Oduayo, and my Instagram and TikTok handle is Odu Unlimited. TikTok is Odu_Unlimited. So yeah, so we're gonna get into this episode, Shits and Gigs.
Yep.
Gigs
Listen,
and
we've been waiting to talk about this for a minute now. Like, we've been watching a lot of people talk about it, everyone giving their own opinion and stuff like that. But listen, I mean, everyone's been saying the exact same thing, if I'm being honest. Like, everyone's like basically just shitting on black women. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's basically what you do.
So what exactly is their
first,
offense?
where do we want to start?
Yeah.
Where do we want to start
Let's
unpacking
introduce their offense.
Well, who knows what the white guy's name is?
it from? The white guy?
I don't care.
I ain't no white guy. You mean the mixed race guy? James?
No, they were in a podcast with
Oh, Andrew Schultz.
Yes,
Yeah.
him. So he said something about the black women effect, and it's been going around TikTok. There's the black women effect, like where like they turn into like this really nice looking white man after they've been with a black woman for like a good
They
amount
start
of time.
using lotion and growing their
Yeah,
beard.
growing their beard. Their hairstyle is a
The
bit
lotion.
more
Like exfoliated.
They're doing fades and stuff like that, and then just look more presentable. They look good. And then he just twisted the whole thing and started saying like something.
That they grow their beard to cushion the punches or slaps from the black women.
Yeah.
Because black women are aggressive and beat
loud.
down.
Yeah, he said something like
They're
they're
trying to be
cutting their hair.
stereotypical, basically.
Yeah, he said they're losing their hair because they're getting stress from the black women. But I mean, to be honest, Andrew Schultz is one of those people that's his kind of jokes. I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything from him, but he makes that kind of banter, like that very almost borderline, do you know what I mean, tippy-toey. He does a lot of race jokes. Like,
I don't
it's
really
not
care
new.
about what he thinks about black women. I think most people don't even really that about shits and gigs. They care about the fact that they allowed it.
Yeah, but also, if we're having a conversation, you're not going to be stopping and correcting someone, politically correcting someone in a conversation every single time.
Which is fair, but don't also then laugh at his jokes, enabling him to continue.
I don't
doing
think
it,
you
'cause
have
if you've
to
watched the
politically
video-
correct somebody. I just say you can, and I think the issue is that. Because even in the apology video, they were like, "Oh, yeah, you're
By
not
the way,
prepared.
that was terrible. That apology video was terrible. But yeah, go on.
Like, if you're not prepared, like you can like you wouldn't think to just dash the camera. It's like you can literally not take a joke and move on. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It doesn't have to be like stopping them. You can there's ways to communicate, like not accepting disrespect.
Actually, even the guy came back and made a video after the apology video to say, "Oh, but they had the option to get this clip removed, and they didn't."
Yeah.
So it's like
But okay. So I was gonna ask you guys. So if you were in their position and let's say they made a joke you weren't comfortable with, are you saying right now, hand on your heart, you would have told him, "Let's stop. I don't want you to make jokes about black women."
It's not even about.
I wouldn't even say sorry. I wouldn't even say that like that. I'll just be like, "Oh, but." Okay, but this
At
is
least
what
come
this
to
is.
their
This is our
defense
experience.
if it's a
Exactly, like say something
conversation.
different. I wouldn't be like, "Oh, shut up, don't talk about that." Then I would like change it or make it sound more positive. That's what I'll do. Or I'll just be
Or
giving
if
them
we're
the, like,
doing-
I don't agree with you.
If we're doing banter about our women, then take another shot.
True.
Like,
Let me talk about your
It's like
wisdom
you
tooth.
don't have to. Yeah, you go okay. Well, white women, da, 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 da. Like
Yeah.
if that's what we're doing, then let's do that or come to
Yeah.
the defense. It's like there are other ways. There's so many ways that they could have gone about this that would have made things a lot more different.
Oh my god, even when they were like, oh, you were double slaved, even to him, the way he just was like, oh, ha 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 ha. They literally
You said they
you
were what?
double slaved. That's what the guy
to
said. Double
Fuhad.
slaved.
Yeah.
Not to. It's not. Is it Fuhad?
The dark skin.
No, it's the light skinned one because he said
James.
he's half Irish and half black, right? So he said even the Irish were enslaved or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, you were double slaved.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
was just like, ka 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 ka. I was like,
Yeah, but again, it's one of those things that like I think like if you're going on Andrew Schultz's show, you know there are going to be some borderline race jokes. There's going to be some dark humor in there, so you kind of know what you're signing up for.
okay,
So when
but I
you
have
hear
something
that,
to say for that too.
yeah,
Because he interviewed someone else, this black rapper, I can't remember his name now, but he said something again in that one, which should show you that this man is attacking black women for some reason, because why are you making the same jokes more than once? And then this guy was like, oh, I love my black women, light skin, brown skin, dark skin. He switched it up straight away. And people showed this on TikTok as well, where like someone who's black actually, like changed the topic.
So
at
who's the
least.
fault lying with? Is the fault with Andrew Schultz or is it with Shxts'n'gigs?
Like we say, we don't care about Andrew Schultz.
So it's Shxts'n'gigs.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
they're the
he
ones
shouldn't feel comfortable saying that
in
anyway.
their presence.
Yeah, but
And it's
again,
like-
you should still have a backbone.
Yeah,
And they even said this too in their apology video. We should have, said something instead of just laughing. And he still made you lot look stupid as well when he then
Yeah.
made a video to your apology
Yeah,
video.
that's because they made themselves look stupid with their apology video. Like that I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the apology video,
Yeah.
because I watched Shxts'n'gigs and I saw the apology video and I was kind of like, you're better off just ignoring the situation existed
Yeah.
than actually making this video.
Yeah.
Like, it was
True.
terrible.
Someone said this on Twitter where they were like, "I've never seen an apology video that everyone's accepted. Like you should have just kept quiet.
Honestly,
like you should have said anything."
I think as well, I'm not saying this is how they feel, but if that's how they feel, they should have just stood on business. Like, yeah, okay, we feel this way about black women and, this is what we think about black women. They should have just stood on business and just...
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I feel like if that conversation was UK wide, I don't think it would have gotten as much coverage as it did. Because I feel like Americans, when it comes to race, they're on business with it. Like in the UK, they would have just glossed over. It's like, oh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
And then
But
in a week, it's gone. Because before that, they were talking about being in Atlanta. And so it wasn't like just one thing, it was a sequence of things. Talking about being in Atlanta and talking about, oh, there's no baddies in Atlanta. And then when asked what their type is, they just said, oh, baddies. They just tried to be evasive about it, not go into detail. And then after the, so that they got backlash from that. And then after the Andrew, whatever his name is, Shreps, whatever, after that, they
Sorry, I'm just sure
Sure.
it's hilarious.
they went viral for that. People are going in on them for that. And then people started looking at their episodes from back in the day when they talking about is it the James or is it Fuhad?
It's
James,
James. It's that one.
He started talking about his not vendetta, but something in regards to
Black
just
women.
the black women that bullied him in school.
Yeah.
And then Fuad was talking about publicly admitting on the podcast to sexually assaulting a woman. Yeah,
Wait,
he was
sorry?
like,
I didn't see that
I
bit.
grabbed her ass and then we started something to that effect, that he grabbed a woman and then they basically caused a fight in the club or something like that. So, and then they went to delete like their old episodes, like 100 of episodes they went to delete because people kept looking through them and finding stuff to show that their opinion is not as much different to Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Schultz.
I don't know, maybe it's a problem with Andrews.
Just call him Andrew.
But yeah, so it's like, okay, you might say this or you might say that because the heat is on you now, but you've been saying or you've been speaking like this for a long time. So are you that much different? So yeah, it's like there's no you have no room
to play devil's advocate for someone like James. He is mixed race. His mum is white. His dad is black. He spoke about being bullied by black girls. We all know the thing of as you're growing up, you look for your dad or you look for your mom in a partner, can we now say that it's his fault for not liking black
How
people
old?
if his example of a woman or a strong woman is a white woman?
How old is James?
Like in his
It's a grown
30s.
man now.
Whatever happened in his past, maybe not might be his fault, but it's his responsibility to get over it. Like, if you're talking about being bullied, especially when it comes to like colorism and all that stuff, a lot of kids in the UK went through that. Like, whether it's the Jamaicans against Nigerians, whether it's being called or being mocked about your features, your lips, your nose, like a lot of people went through that, even from black people themselves, like people calling people too dark. Like, there's a range of things that happened. Black boys bullying black women bullying black girls, like when they were growing up. So
Okay.
that's a different time.
But
And
that
it's
doesn't
like
take
now
away
that
from
you've
the
moved.
fact
Pardon?
that his example of a woman or of a strong mother is a
It
white
doesn't
woman.
matter what his example is. It doesn't matter what
Why not?
what his preferences are. We don't care about his preferences, but it's like it's the stereotype, right? Like you might like what you like, but then don't now paint the others with a different brush because you don't like them. And I think that's always been the conversation with black men. It's like
Yeah.
whether or not you don't like black women, that's fine, but you don't have to attack non-black women for. I mean, sorry, you don't have to attack black women for not being the women that you're not attracted to. Like just
your
leave us
preference is
alone.
Your preference, that's fine. You can like whatever you want to like, blue, yellow, green. I don't care. But then don't then say, oh, I hate pink because da 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 da. Like
Like
it's
leave
never
pink
that
out of the
serious.
conversation.
So it seems like, and I've always said this about people being cancelled, if it seems like we pick and choose when we want to be offended. Because as long as we've been alive, we all know if a black man is seen with a white woman, all hell breaks loose. If a white woman is seen with a black, if a white woman is seen, if a black woman is seen with a white man, happy days.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
No. Again, this is what I'm saying. You don't agree with that now because you're arguing for, black love and all of this shits and gigs stuff. This is what I'm trying to say. It feels like conveniently we pick and choose when we want to support certain things.
But I've never had a problem with it though. I've just
I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying
Okay.
as a community together,
Yeah.
that's how it feels like.
Okay, but let me explain. Let me say this to you. So I saw this on TikTok. This was probably last year or the year before. And this was actually from a black guy. I think he was on a podcast. Then he was like, oh, black women are too dark. Oh, that weave they're always wearing on their head. Blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, this is why we go for white women because they don't do any of this stuff. Like he actually openly said this. So I feel like the problem has been black men that actually go for white women and still
Self-hate.
shit on black women, basically. Like, bro, your mom's black. So there's no problem with you going for white women, but don't make it like, oh, they are better. Like, at the end of the day, women are women. Do you know what I mean? And then because they're the ones that come out and say this, which is why we're going based on what they've done. So if you didn't do that, then we wouldn't say that. Do you know what I mean? Go for whoever you want to go for, but let your preference be just because maybe they have a nice personality or something, not because their hair are better than black women,
or you like their culture,
or they're fairer than da da da. Do you know what I mean?
So I think that that's the main issue. Like, as much as you're saying that, you've never had black women, black men complain about black women being with black men, white men. I think the issue has always been you cannot tell me that you have not heard a black guy say something bad about black women.
No, I'm not saying
in terms
that.
of like their features. You've always heard that. You've heard that. So you can't deny that. So our issue is not whoever they date. It's just leave us out of it. Just leave us out of the conversation. And don't now like...
So again, it's still on the same point. You're saying just leave us out of it. But I can guarantee you right now, we would have been in this same room having the same conversation if James said, I only like white women.
Pardon?
If James said, I only like white women, I
If
can
he said
guarantee
that,
you
I
we would have been in this room having the same conversation about
I
black
don't
men.
care.
Black
You know
women
what? I
hating.
doubt that.
I don't care.
No.
I don't
Like-
care what James, especially being that he's mixed race.
Because it's
I
part
really
of you.
don't care what James...
Yeah, but it's part of the reason why this whole thing is going around. That people are saying, people are saying how much he hates black women simply because he said, Atlanta, I haven't seen any bad black baddies since I got to Atlanta. No, he said black baddies. He specified. I haven't seen no leng black things. Basically, is what he was saying. when he got to Atlanta. He said, I haven't
I
seen
heard
any.
baddies.
I heard
I didn't
baddies.
hear
No.
the
I heard
black.
like he didn't specify he was
He
being
did.
on digital.
He
That's
did.
what I
That
was
was a thing,
thinking.
like, all over. Are you sure?
We're gonna
He
check
did.
this.
Are you
No, he did.
sure?
I can bring the clip up right now.
Okay,
He did
bring the
say
clip
that.
up because
And then,
I'm very sure that.
and then afterwards,
I watched it, and then they're like, okay, then what's your type?
yeah, afterwards they asked him, oh, have you not seen any like good looking black girls? And he was like, not good looking ones.
I thought he was generalizing. I didn't. Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
he did say, and that's I was watching the video with a girl reacting, and she was saying he clearly hates black women. Like, how can he say he hasn't seen any black beautiful women in Atlanta? There's a lot of them there.
I think that's more. That's what I'm saying. I think that's more of an American thing because it's like in the UK, it's like I don't care. Like I'm not looking at or like trying to get Fuhad or whatever his name is.
Fuhad.
Is it not Fuhad?
Yes, Fuhad.
Okay. What did you say?
Yeah, no, Fuhad.
I was like, oh.
Nah.
But yeah, I don't care. It's just like just let it go. Just let it go. Whoever you want to date. But I do feel like black men, yeah, either one, they don't take things very seriously, or they sort of tiptoe around, like, I would say white men. And I don't know if that's like a thing of power, like in terms of like most black guys probably have a white boss somewhere. So I feel like in a way, would you say that they sort of tiptoe around them? It's like code switching at work. It's like, okay, you just laugh at whatever. I don't know. I think maybe they don't take things as serious, or maybe they just don't feel confident, or just don't feel powerful enough to take a stand against something.
I mean, in terms of the code switching things, they say when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. If that place is paying your bills, you don't want to now go in and per se be yourself to risk not getting the job or not getting paid from the job because they think you're a hoodlum or whatever. It's down to that. But in terms of it being in terms of relationships and black guys being quiet about black women, I don't know. In my case, I would say that's not the case at all. As far as I know, my people them only like black women. Like the other day, I literally said to the guys, you know what? I'm starting to look at white girls a bit different, and the man them looked at me like they were about to lynch me. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's things like that. But I think it's down to the personal person. But in terms of, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say we're afraid of the white man or we're trying to tiptoe around the white man, because when we're only afraid of the white man when it's to do with our bills. When we're out of work, it doesn't matter at all.
But then don't you think that it can still be like a balance where it's like, okay, you can still have your respect and respect for your people. You can still hold that whilst having your bills paid. Because I think like that's, if you take some, because I feel like with black women, we're very much, and I think that's probably where a lot of the stereotype comes from. Because it's like, what you're not doing, we have to do. And even in terms of like all the racial activities or whatnot, like a lot of black women are usually at the forefront of it, because the black men are not going to speak because they're like.
Wait, you think women are a lot more at the front of Black Lives Matter protests, like stuff like that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I definitely don't agree.
Yeah.
I would say it's a balance.
We're the forefront of a lot of things.
Yeah.
If we even start going into that.
If I speak, I'm in trouble.
I mean, you might as well.
You might as well.
You might as well speak.
No.
Even in terms of like just random, like in terms of like I think black men are still
making money.
Yeah, I think black men are still like at the bottom.
Yeah.
Or at least lower than black women when it comes to the like being employed or like making businesses.
I would say for the UK, I don't know about like everywhere else though, but like in the UK.
I remember I think one of my friends in uni, I think he got a scholarship, and I was like, oh, how come you got, like, what's the scholarship based off of? And it was like, oh, it was for black men because black men were the least employed in the UK. And it's like, it's almost a thing where, I don't know, I feel like even with black women, even with black men, black women dating white men, I feel like there's a thing where
we're getting our colours mixed up. Black, white, black.
I feel like it's a thing where I believe that black men have this level of I'm trying to look for the words to black men, their audacity usually comes from like or is pertains to chasing women.
Yeah.
Right? That's where they have, you know, to
Ego.
woo a woman, to impress a woman, or to get bitches. Like that's where they're more powerful. But white men, they have audacity when it comes to the world. Like it's only a white man that would go. I mean, not only a white man that would go to another country and take their women, take their gold, take their. It's like they believe that, you know, the world is theirs and it's theirs for the taking. Like even in terms of like relationships and stuff, I feel like a lot of black men, they don't feel like they deserve women that if they're not making a certain amount of money, they don't feel like they deserve support, help. They barely know how to ask for these things. And I feel like usually, with the guys I've dated, if I tell them something like, oh, maybe my manager at work is just giving me stress, because they want to provide, they want to, they're going to be thinking to themselves, what I'm hearing, I'm complaining about my manager. What they're hearing is, I have failed as a man to provide for you. So you have to deal with the harsh realities of the workforce. And that's why a lot of women say that they can't date broke men because they're so like, I don't know. They just internalize a lot of things.
Can I just say though, you just debunked your own argument in the same sentence. Because you just said black men have this feeling or this need where they feel like they have to have some sort of status to date a woman. And then you also said that when you hear a black man say, my manager is doing this, my manager is doing that, all you're hearing is this.
How did I debunk?
So you started off saying black men feel the need to be a certain level to be in a relationship. That's what you started off by saying. Right. And then you ended up by saying that a black man will come home and say, my manager this and my manager that, and this is why women can't date broke men.
No, because he's internalizing what I'm saying, right? Because he feels like, because he can't provide for me and say, you know what, just quit your job and let me take care of all of those things. Now he feels like he's less of a man. Does that make sense? Like, do you understand the correlation of what I'm saying?
That
like, because
makes
he doesn't have the money now. I feel like almost every girl I know has heard a guy say, I'm not where I want to be now, so I can't be in a relationship. And that is in terms of finances. Whereas, say for example, if you're with a white guy, like even I think there was this couple or like a few couples that started fighting online or whatever, like interracial couples where the woman is black, where it's like, oh, she's been paying for everything. And I feel like having a white guy or dating a white guy, he's more inclined to accept support and us balancing things out and you maybe paying for this or paying for that. Whereas black men, it's like, it's almost like a competition. Like even when maybe you're going on holidays or whatever, it's like, I can't do this for you, or I can't do that for you. Like I've literally had a guy say to me, because I paid for something more, he said he felt emasculated.
Wow. Yeah, but it also comes in I don't want to get into this side of things, but just quickly, it also comes from you guys voicing what you want from men. And if that's all we're hearing, we're obviously going to take that on and say, okay, girls want a man who's set. If I'm not set, I'm not going to go and try a date because then you're just going to hate me even more.
You know what's even funny? When you have someone with you as well that is like that she's happy with, like, let's say going 50-50 for example, or she's making more than you. Why is it that they always feel like, no way?
Like you don't listen to the girl on social media rather than your own girl that's telling you that it's okay.
No, and this goes back to that Cardi B episode where I was saying celebrities have influence on the world. Whether you like it or not, there's always going to be an influence somewhere. So when a guy is seeing this and all he's seeing is failed relationships because the guy couldn't provide, failed relationships because this, that, and the third. Like, for example, I'm seeing me now, I'm thinking, I wanted to get married since I was young. Now I'm thinking I don't want to get married because I'm worried about getting divorced and my wife taking half my stuff away. Like, do you know what I mean? Because this is all I'm seeing online.
You know what's crazy? Oh, please, if we even get into this topic. There was this guy I was talking to recently, and he said that he doesn't want to get married. And I was like, okay, and I was like, why don't you want to get married? Just to humor me, because for me, I already knew that was off. We're not going to take any further. I was like, why don't you want to get married? And he said to me, because, his uncle recently got a divorce and his wife took like the house and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, well, who's the primary caregiver? And it's like, it doesn't really matter. That's his house. I'm like, okay, but who's living in the house? His kids.
No.
Da, da, da,
Okay.
da. So he just kept going on about silly reasons about why he didn't want to get married.
That's not my reasoning. It's not because.
Well, you just said half of your stuff.
Yeah, but half of my stuff. So put it this way: if I meet someone right now, right here, in this moment I'm in, and we hit it off, and we get married, and we get divorced in 20 years' time, I'll give her half of my stuff happily. But if I have set myself up, and again, going back to the point you were making, you want a man who's set, you want a man who has this, you want a man who has that. So if I've gone and get all of that and I come and then we get married and then you want to divorce me 20 years and you want to take all the stuff I worked hard for.
Before you came?
Yeah. Like, that's not happening. That's what I'm getting at.
Wouldn't it make more sense to actually be with somebody while you're getting the stuff? Because a lot of guys would say they don't want to be with somebody. And I know a lot of girls that have been in a relationship with guys that are still making their way. They have a plan, they're working towards stuff. They're supporting them. But the guys are not, they don't want that. They're not accepting of that.
Again.
So it's like,
have
isn't
a
it
contract.
contradictory to yourself? Because a lot of guys that say they don't want to get married because they don't want people to take half of their stuff. They don't have anything yet.
I was literally about to say that. What do you have that you're complaining about that you're scared of? But even out of that, okay, like buying a house, you don't have to have a will or something like that. Just sign a contract with the person.
Yeah.
Prenup, I know
girl
that's
would not
more in
do it.
America, but do something like to protect yourself then. But don't say, I don't want to get married.
Dimobi, if
Like,
I came to you and I said, I want to marry you, but you have to sign this contract, would you do it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it.
That's someone. Okay, first of all, you have to know what the contract is about. You're not gonna just say, "Oh, here's a
Like,
contract."
what are you
Discuss
including in the
it.
contract?
It's
You can't
all,
just say-
it takes both.
Are you talking about
it takes
prenuptial
both
agreement?
parties. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like both parties are involved.
Because I'm going to
I
say
don't
what
mind.
I want in the agreement. You're going to
Okay.
say what you want in the
Exactly.
agreement.
And
You
we're
don't
both
just...
signing. It's not just one-sided.
We're
It's
jumping.
both-sided.
We're jumping a little bit here. Let's dial it back
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So back to the point where I was saying we were saying guys want to be set up before they get married, and then also say that they don't want to get married because they feel like they've been set up. If all I'm hearing and every conversation I'm having, all I'm hearing is I can't deal with broke men, I can't deal with this man, I can't deal with that man, I can't deal with that. So okay, I'm thinking I need to go get my stuff.
She just
Then
said that.
in that same-
Internalizing what people
wait,
are saying
wait.
on socials.
Yeah, but in that same breath, you're also telling me that if I go get it and you come into my life, you're entitled to half of it.
I've
I'm stuck
literally
in
just
between
said...
a rock and a
I've
hard
literally
place.
just said...
No, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
No, you're not,
Yeah, you
because
are.
I've literally just said, and she's also just said, if the agreement, we're both going to decide what's going to be in the agreement. Like, we can have a prenuptial agreement where you decide, okay, if maybe after 5 years, because you're used to maybe you take like 10%. Because maybe you supported me, Like, you can still, like, prenuptial agreement is not just 50-50. Not everything is just 50-50.
Yeah.
Especially if you've made a considerable amount of wealth before you got married to the person. And then how long, like, these are things that even the courts are going to decide. It's not just white and black, like, oh, someone's just going to come and take half your stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, especially now, if you're not in a relationship as a man and you still want to go and get all your things sorted, like, what is stopping you from being in a relationship if you have somebody that actually wants to be with you and that's saying that she's fine with however way the things is working for you right now? Like, what is stopping you from doing that? And you're also saying that, oh, you're internalizing what people are saying, you're having influence. It's like, there's real life and there's social media. There are people that are even talking on social media, not doing what they're talking about in real life. There are couples that they'll come out, you hear they've broken up, now you've seen that, oh, it was actually the woman that was paying for everything. Because a lot of men, their ego is usually affected by these things. That's why things like that happen. Because you don't have to internalize what other people are saying. Like, society would always put things on women and men. Like, we have expectations as women from society. We have expectations as men from society, as black women, as black men, but you don't have to internalize it. You have to decide for yourself rather than, oh, this person did. And especially, like, why are you comparing yourself to Offset or Cardi? Like, that's so far removed from us as citizens of the UK, as immigrants of Ghana or Nigeria. Like, we're so far removed from that, and you want to, like, compare yourself to Offset and Cardi.
You're in a lose-lose situation with that mentality, let's be honest. It's a lose-lose situation.
It's not a comparison thing per se. So I'm not saying that we're fully internalizing what people are saying on social media, but these are conversations that are happening in real life as well. It's not just social
then talk
media.
to your partner.
What do you
What
know?
you're saying is completely different.
But I'm
Like,
single, so what partner do you want to go
okay,
talk to?
no, that's fine. No, that's fine. You're single, but let's say you have a partner, so you can't come with that sort of mentality. That's what you talk about. Like,
but
we
that's
just
exactly
mentioned.
what I also said
And-
though. If I met someone right now
Yeah.
and we got
Yeah.
on with it,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm not gonna do any of that.
Yeah.
That's literally not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I met someone right now and we hit it off and we get married, you can have 80% if you want, because I feel like you helped me build to get to where I'm at. But if I don't, and as I am now, my mentality now is I've got a lot I want to achieve. I've got a lot I want to do. There's a lot on my plate right now. So relationships is not in the
what
question.
I want to understand actually from you, answer this question as a guy. What do you feel like you need to achieve that you feel like a relationship is like a liability to you?
Okay, I can only answer personally.
Yeah, go on.
And I'm also not going to answer fully because I don't want everyone to know everything. But I have a big goal.
I want to know.
I have a big target. I was literally talking to my dad about it a couple of days ago, and he couldn't believe because I never really spoke to him about it. But I have a massive goal that by the age of 35, I'm going to have a few businesses in place and a few things running in place that will enable me to retire and enable me to achieve my even bigger goal in the future. And so for me right now, I have tried to date while I was working on my dream, and it didn't work out because I didn't have the time to show affection to the girl, and I'm always out, I'm always working, I'm always at events, I'm always out doing this, I was at the time as well, I was working 2 jobs because I didn't have the money to be able to be funding what I was doing enough. So I only had 1 day off. My 1 day off, I'm in London doing this, doing that, and the third. Do you know what I mean? So we kind of hit a brick wall in that sense. So for me, I now know that, okay, even if I have 7 days a week and I want to make time for this person, it's almost impossible because my schedule is ever changing. It's not static per se. I know I work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 between those hours.
Yeah.
So that's cool. After 5 p.m, maybe I'll be able to see you. But on the weekend, I might plan to do something on Sunday, but end up doing it on Saturday because something else has come up that I need to do on Sunday, sort of thing. So we never really had the time. And so we just had a bunch of clashes, a bunch of arguments. It was always, you're never here, you never have enough time. I call you, you act like you don't care. It's like, no, I'm in the studio, I'm literally recording, or things like that. And that's why I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get into a relationship till I'm ready. And then I was like, well, what if I
Why
get into
do
a relationship
guys
when I'm
always
ready?
use one experience to like set the whole situation? Because this is something similar to what Nick Cannon said in one of his interviews. He was like, a relationship that he had when he was in secondary school is what made him the person that he is right now. That's why he had
You
like
love
what
the Cannon, innit?
There's no I love him. It's just like his mentality and the way he's thinking. Like he literally said, this is the reason why. And he said a relationship that happened, more than 20, 30 years ago. Why is it that guys keep something like that?
Well, me, it didn't happen 20 years ago. This was literally 2 years ago. So
I was actually going to speak on that relationship scenario that we were talking about. I feel like even as much as you say that your schedule's crazy, I feel like there's a way that you can still include your partner into things. Say, for example, like a studio session, like, oh, we're having a studio session. If it's not like too crazy or too private,
she can come.
pull up.
Yeah.
I'm going to the barbershop, pull up, like run errands with me, like those kind of things. And I feel like a lot of guys underestimate how important those things are.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I know that you're busy, but if you ask me to come through, it's like, even if it's like, okay, maybe after you shoot now, you spend an hour, 30 minutes together, or like an hour or 30 minutes together. It's like, okay, cool. I've seen that you're busy. I've seen that, you don't have time for but you still included me in the things that you can include me in.
But
and I feel like it's
women, sorry, let me say this quickly. Women are actually very understanding. Like, if you actually told her what this is, like, I'm sure the only reason, no, it probably isn't the only reason, but the reason why she felt like, oh, you were not communicating is because we're not actually sharing that part of your life with her as well. So she feels disengaged or she feels separated from you. I'm just saying, I might be wrong.
I could get the random on the phone right now. Exactly just the example you gave. I took her to the studio with me. But the problem was, I'm working and I'm not giving her the attention. So that was her issue. She said, I'm happy you brought me along and I get to see you in your element, but then I'm just sat there not doing anything. And I was like, there's not more I could physically do.
I feel like your reason is
it's not everyone that's like that.
Yeah, your reason is understandable, but it's not every guy that's also like that. I feel like a lot of guys, it's just, and also my question is, if this is what you want to achieve by the age of 35, I don't know how old you are. Late 20s.
We don't need to know.
Same age as us, basically.
Yeah,
But
27. I'm 27.
Yeah, so it's like that's like 7 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that you see your schedule freeing up anytime soon to be able to accommodate a relationship, or are you saying that you just want to just keep at it, and when you've gotten to where you want to get to,
So it's
And then you start worrying about how much is going to be
Now
taken
you
from
now start
you.
talking to one.
No. So if I'm being honest, I think I was having a conversation with you on our last recording session before last week, and I was saying how I had some drama.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, you want to talk about it?
I'm not going to talk
Okay.
about it now.
I was like,
But like after that happened to me, I just kind of put my hands up and I was like, it's not that I'm not trying, or it's not like I've just completely given. I did try, but now at this point it's like it's taking more of a toll on me than actually. Do you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I was just kind of I'm happy being me, man.
just here, innit?
I've accepted my fate. Like,
No,
I'm gonna
you
be a
can't say
bachelor
you've
for
accepted your
life.
fate, man. I'm not accepting that for you. Yeah, I'm not accepting that for
But
you.
anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Everyone's been through stuff. I'm sure Miriam's been through stuff. I've been through stuff. That doesn't mean that you're not gonna then still not try.
No, it's not-
I mean, I
it's-
understand for now you just want to take a breather and relax, like just step back a bit and just focus on you. But that doesn't mean that's something that's gonna happen again and again.
No.
Like, you know.
No, definitely. I don't think that's what's going to be happening over and over again. But it's more, I guess it's the way it all happened and my mind frame at the time. Because a bit of context. This situation I'm talking about happened right after my birthday, right after I turned 27, and I was kind of like, "Bro, I'm getting old. I need to, I need to sort something out."
Yeah.
And then I tried to sort something out, and then, to explain a little bit, I ended up getting into an argument with three different girls within the space of like 2 days. I was like, I give up. I was like, I don't know what to do anymore.
I think it's from where you were looking at it from. It's almost like you felt like you were on a time clock and now you're trying to rush.
maybe
It's like
that's
it doesn't
another
work
thing.
like that, and I think that's what stresses me out with guys. They just feel like when the time comes, they're going to find a wife, and then everything's just going to be.
Yeah,
That's why a lot of
days.
people enter relationships, and then when you figure out, oh, why did this guy get married to this lady, is because they were available at the time they were ready.
Yeah, so it wasn't.
Do you know
like,
how many times that happens?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
get-
like
I
a
get
lot of
that.
guys really when they are ready for a wife, they just pick one.
Yeah.
Let's go marry.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And then they're not be
100%.
wondering, oh, she's doing it for my money. Okay, if you presented yourself as somebody that's ready to get married, has money, she might not even like you like that. She might not really feel the chemistry, but okay, you've ticked boxes. That's all you've done.
And,
There might not be chemistry. There might not be like
No,
love
100.
or anything. And it's
And-
like you're infatuated because she's beautiful. She has a nice bum.
But that's
And
why I
it's
also
like-
say. That's why I also say it's not like I'm leaving it to pick it up later. That's why I've also kind of accepted that I'm not gonna be in a relationship. I'm not gonna get married. Like I'm happy with that decision, that part of my life. My dad is gonna hear this
I want to
conversation.
be a priest.
Yes, I might as well be at this point.
But you
But,
probably have
yeah.
time to link
Ian.
buddies.
Huh? Huh?
You have time to link buddies.
What buddies? Since I came here, I ain't seen nobody.
Wow.
No. No. Yeah.
Well,
If
we're
I
not,
think-
we're not
your
accepting that for
situation
you.
your situation is unique though, but I do feel like there's a lot of guys that they're not close to like having such a crazy schedule, and they tend to just leave things off and just
You'd
do
be
the whole-
surprised.
I know, like I have brothers first of all that I live with, and then I have male friends. It's not like that. It's really not. Like I have a guy that was telling me about how he's 29 now. He needs to get serious. He needs to find a wife. Okay. Next thing I know, he's talking to me about my ex's cat is turning 1 year old. I think I should buy her a present and just bring
What?
it.
That's just,
And
that's
I'm like,
just-
why would you want to take that to? And it's like it's a good investment because if I
That's
take
just a
her
good
cat-
investment.
if I take if I buy her cat a present, I'm gonna hit. Like, and then, that's literally, and I'm like, okay,
Man, we need
you're
to stop
talking
this,
about
man.
you're talking about the things that you want to achieve in this life. You're talking about your goals, but this is what you're using your brain power to do. This is what you're processing.
Man's
Like, okay, how I'm
calculating
going
off
to
a
get.
cat. That's wild.
How I'm going to
That's
get my ex's
wild.
cat a birthday present
Nah.
just so I can hit. Like, you're even investing your money, your time, energy, thinking about these things. A lot of guys, when they say that, they're not where they want in life or where they are in life, or they want to do this or they want to like lock in. they're locking into different pussies. Like,
I'm
they're not locking into anything.
I'm gonna use Hailey and DDG as an example of this. Like, I don't know, maybe it's from what we saw. Like, I felt like their relationship was like, oh, lovey-dovey, but now they're broken up. Now you can kind of see the kind of person that he was behind. Because even like, she's not saying anything online, but you see him, he's everywhere. He's on socials. You gave this woman a child and then you left. If you didn't see her as a wife, why did you impregnate her?
I think another thing with DDG is that I'm hoping I didn't just forget what I was going to say. But the thing with DDG, actually, I was going to say that I don't think people are just beginning to see what he's like or what
they
he
already
was like.
saw it from
I think especially because there was a time when he had an argument with his ex, which was Ruby Rose, where he and Hailey had an argument, and then he texted Ruby, and she posted the screenshots and whatnot, and also something about her wearing the same shirt that Ruby was wearing or something like that, and then Helly's response was, "Oh, someone's trying to poison our relationship." Like, God bless everybody. I'm just thinking, girl. So I don't think people didn't know who he was. I think that's why there was a lot of hate on them because of his actions. Like, okay, you're texting your ex because you got in an argument with your girlfriend, and she just sort of brushed over that. Also,
or maybe she did it for socials. Maybe just for social media.
You don't have to say anything. Especially if somebody's trying to out your man for cheating on you. You don't have to now defend him against the woman that he was trying to text. Do you get what I mean?
But she didn't want to make it seem like it was true. I feel like it was like a defense mechanism on her part. So I kind of understand why she did it. It might not make sense to us, but at the time, I'm sure in her head she was thinking, nah, let me make it seem like, it is.
It's almost like a helmet of salvation kind of situation. With the girl with Derek Jackson, it's like your husband's cheating on you. Someone's outed him now. You're still playing defense and trying to act like, trying to save face when you should be protecting your own self from embarrassment. Now you're trying to protect him and trying to defend him when he's not, he's dogging you out. And also the fact that he's a streamer, he's a blogger, I think I'll expect to hear more about the situation from him than, because Halle never really comes on social. So that sort of makes sense. But the whole situation about having a baby and then splitting up is just a mindfuckery. Like, that's why the guy that I was telling you about, he said, oh, I want us to date, like move in together, but I don't want to get married, but I want kids. I'm thinking, you and who?
Isn't that what, like...
You and who?
Like, I want to understand what's so bad about the word marriage, that you're doing marriage
and
stuff but don't want the title.
Why do you want to get married? And I'm like, okay, but why do you want to live with me? Like, why... Like,
it's so the thing is,
what are you trying to make?
No, because obviously you guys always have that one perspective, so I have to give the other perspective. I have to play devil's advocate. Everything is easier in a relationship. Moving together, the bills are halved. Your whatever you're doing, your food, everything is halved, so you get to save a bit more. It's easier on the finances, and so that's what makes it attractive for men to wanna say, yeah, let's live in together, let's move in together, let's have kids, and da 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 da.
It's easier for you. For you, it's easier for you. It's not for because now you're putting me in a situation where you're talking about us having kids and you're saying you don't want to get married, but I'm the one that's going to carry the baby. Like, that's 100% my responsibility. So that marriage is supposed to be proven, or it's supposed to be that level of commitment. Not just yourself, not just your words, because men
they talk rubbish.
They lie.
Rubbish.
They will promise.
Hey, I'm gonna need another man in here. I'm taking all the heat for the man, though, right? I can't handle it.
It's just the lies. It's like, okay, cool. If you really want me and you want me to be in your life, tell your family, tell your friends, swear in between God. I mean, in front of God, in God's presence, that you actually want to be with me before I now put down my life to have a child for you to continue your lineage or whatever it is.
God forbid that we have men like Offset that'll be saying, I made you a baby mama.
Exactly.
I won.
So
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Just to wrap up, so we think Shxts'n'gigs were in the wrong.
Yeah.
We think they shouldn't have apologized.
I don't
even think I heard an apology. I think they just gave like excuses.
Yeah.
I don't even think I heard like an actual apology. Or like even something about uplifting black women. It was just excuses and
it just seemed like
deflection.
they were forced to even do it.
Yeah,
like they were looking at each
excuses
other
and
like, yeah,
deflection.
yeah.
It's
Like,
like-
it didn't even look
Especially that
natural.
Fuhad, it was just saying
Yeah, the whole time.
That's because I could tell me and Fuhad will get along because I could tell he wanted to stand on business. He didn't want to apologize.
I don't think so. I feel like Fuhad has just always been like.
Nah, he was just like, I don't want to do this video. I can't be asked. Let's just get it over and done with. If you want to do this apology, you could tell in his face. But
Either way, they
anyway,
should eat their apology.
yeah. Either way,
Very
James
That's
and
what they're
Fuhad,
hiding.
you done wrong. We also think that black men should stand up for black women less.
That's you. I mean, to be honest, it's not
Why
like
did you? Why did you say that? You know what you did?
I wanted you to agree, and I'm like, ha.
No, I knew you were up to something. I saw your facial expression.
But we think black men, not think, it's a statement of fact.
Yeah.
Black men should definitely stand up for black women 100% more.
Yeah.
I think it's for the race, for like your people's
Yeah.
them, because
Well, for the race.
because as even with all of this, there's black kids involved, there's black girls involved. So yeah,
Yeah.
like
And most of your audience are black women too. Like,
Yeah.
come on, they knew this too, which is why they made the video. And James was like, our supporters are, black women.
I think they just apologize for the bag, and I'm
Yeah.
quite disappointed that their followers did not decrease as much as it should. But I feel like because it's majority UK, that's what I mean. Like UK are not people to stand on business like that when it comes to racial issues.
That's because we don't care. It's like, yeah, he doesn't like black women. So
That's what I'm saying. A lot of black guys don't actually care. You don't care.
It don't affect my
you
life.
don't- Exactly. But
Wow.
these
But
things
it affects
trickle
your
down.
race.
These things trickle down and actually affect black women. It does.
Okay, do you know what?
It's when we're trying to
run-
promote
we're
self-love,
running out of
self-care of
time.
black women all the
It-
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does trickle down and affect, especially like if you look back at the shows where it's publicized, social interaction like Love Island or like even is it Celebrity something like Nella Rose was also there. These things affect how black women are actually treated in real life. That's
Yeah.
why it's a dangerous
'Cause they're seeing
stereotype.
it too.
Yeah, it's a dangerous
Like-
stereotype, and it's been, especially when it's now being emphasized on or like supported by black men, it does affect our actual lives.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like it's important. And I
If
know
they
you don't
can
care.
do it, they can do it too.
I know you don't care, but I'm going to talk to you later. You're going to care by the time
Yeah,
I'm done
right.
talking
About
to you.
what? No, but in all seriousness, though, I think the exact word you used is taking things and internalizing it, because you have a mind of your own. If I come up here and I say I don't like black women for this and so reason, doesn't mean that you should get
It's
up
not
and
me
hate.
that's internalizing it. I'm talking about how people treat me because of the statement that you've made. People that watch that, people that hear that have you second that. Now they're hearing you and they're treating me as you've said. Do you get what I mean? Because of the respect that you haven't given me, they're now saying, okay, it's okay to disrespect me. So that's the
Exactly.
issue. It's not like, because if it's just a conversation that doesn't matter, doesn't affect our lives, we don't care. But it actually affects our life in at work, in social
Socialize.
interactions. Like it does affect our lives, how people relate
Okay,
to
but-
us. So that's the issue.
I'm trying to cut down on the time as well, but it keeps going.
But yeah.
I was gonna say, in terms of that as well, like, what do you want to see or what do you want to hear? I know we've said black men should stand up more, but what do you actively want to see from black men doing?
I think it's just having our backs. It's like, it's not just because like in that situation, in that example, they don't have to start dashing cameras like they said in their videos. It's just okay, we're not doing that. Okay, let's move on. Like you can shut things down because you have power in your voice.
say
You don't
something
have to.
positive.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can counteract that. Like just balance things out. Or if you want to play defense mode, if you want to be aggressive with it, you can take shots at. If that's what we're doing, that's the kind of show that we're on. Let's take shots at each other. Do you get what I mean? There's a lot of ways that you can handle that situation. There's a lot of like expressions that you could have done or that they could have done to handle that situation better. So
And
it's
let's be
not
honest,
just.
if they literally said, "Oh, by the way, no, we're not doing this," he would have just shut up and talked about something else. But he kept going.
He would have. No, I'm not
Like, he
disagreeing with
actually
you
kept
guys
going
on there.
because they were
And
laughing.
because they
But
were
hold on.
enabling
One
it.
sec. One last thing is, so the thing is, when you're in the moment, you may not necessarily know how to react, because hindsight, they say, is always 20/20.
Yeah.
So it could just be a situation that what they're saying is true. It's like,
Which
we were
is
in the
fair
moment, we didn't know what to
enough.
do.
Which
But
is fair
then
enough.
if
But
he's
after
saying
that,
we gave
they
you,
had
we
the
highlighted
clip.
this and gave you the option to take it out, and you didn't say anything
It's
about
not his
that.
show.
Pardon?
It's already out. It's not his show.
No,
No,
he said,
he said something.
They
He
sent them
said
the
they had
clips
the
and they
option.
said that, if there's anything that you want us to
Yeah,
take
but
out.
again, it's not. So they may have been in the moment, sat on the couch, they may have panicked and not know what to say. Or another thing that could have actually happened is they may not have not necessarily realized what's happening in that very moment. And after watching it, they still didn't think.
I mean, then again, that's
you
what
know.
people said. People are like, they're probably not even smart. Half their shit is basically on Kiki in the whole time. Like, how are they supposed to be able to, be the face for black people and stuff like that? I mean, hey.
Anyway.
Because you're the one that was talking about celebrities, their life is publicized, so they need to be role models. If they're not role models, how are we not asking Cardi B and we have marriage to be role models for us? If the ones that are closer to us are not being role models. So yeah, that's not an excuse that, they didn't know any better. Like, no.
No. We need to give them a benefit of a doubt to an extent, because it's all well and good. You're looking at me like that. It's all well and good saying I would have stopped the conversation, but you would have been in that couch and not even realized what was happening. If that makes sense.
I don't agree with that.
No.
Well, people say we shouldn't give them too much grace, like like what you just said, which I hear, which is fair enough. Because if you actually listen to their podcast, it's not like it's anything educative or anything like that gives them this extra, they're not
like,
I'm trying to say,
like role models for black people.
Yeah, they're not. What they do half the time is talk about stuff from Reddit and Twitter and laugh about it, basically. So we shouldn't expect too much from them.
Yeah.
Like,
which is
put them at a high standard.
Yeah. Well, anyway, moving on.
Anyway, thanks guys for watching.
Recommendations.
Oh,
Do we always have to do this?
Yes, we do.
Ooh,
It's a segment.
well, to be honest,
have
I've been watching rom-coms recently.
Okay.
There's this new one on Netflix about the Jewish couple or whatnot.
A rom-com about a Jewish couple.
Yeah, I'm trying to search for it.
Are you looking for your phone? Oh, so what's this? Okay, well, I'd say, I'm watching My Wife and Kids again. Everyone knows My Wife and Kids. I just started watching that again. But there's this show on Netflix called Selling Sunset.
Yes.
That I've been watching it for a while now, so I'm just started watching the new season. So it looks good, looks interesting. I'm very interesting.
I don't know, I'm just in that phase where I don't really want to get into any series because I don't know how to stop until it's actually completely done.
I don't think it has that much episodes.
What?
Nobody wants this?
Selling Sunsets. Yeah, Nobody Wants This. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, how many episodes?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I actually can't remember. But I don't think it actually has that, because I remember the last one I watched, it didn't take that long for me to finish it. It's like Love is Blind. After a few episodes, you're done and you just see the next. Do you know what I mean? It's not that much. Probably like 8 or 9 or less than that, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
Well.
So what did you call it?
Selling Sunset.
Selling Sunset.
And I'm watching My Wife and Kids.
Nobody Wants This. So Selling Sunsets, Nobody Wants This, My Wife and Kids.
I love My
And
Wife and
I will
Kids.
throw in Dexter.
Oh my gosh, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
someone spoke to me about that and said it's like very interesting in
It
like
is.
mind.
It is. I'm on a season. So he is a serial killer.
Yeah.
And I'm on a season where he's...
No, he kills serial killers.
Yeah, but he's also a serial killer. He's a serial killer that kills serial
He
killers.
has a type.
And he's basically... It's very interesting because he's discovered religion and faith. And he's now like question, what's God? What's that? What's this? So it's quite interesting. But yeah, I'll recommend that for you guys to go watch. With that being said, it's been another episode with the sexy ladies.
Oh my god.
If you say so, I'll take it.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Till next time, we shall see you. Bye-bye.
Bye. For tuning in.